Hey, how's it going? Mike Marin here, and welcome back. So in the last video of this training, what we did is we actually covered basically how to go out and how to follow the 7 steps to writing the perfect social media ad. In this video, what I want to do is essentially show you how to use AI correctly to do 95% of the heavy lifting for you. You see, when I first made this training, Chat GTP, it didn't exist, right? And we had to do a bunch of research and we had to write these out and do it ourselves. And in fact, like when I first started training people on Facebook ads, you had to, like, there was a skill set to the targeting and there was a skill set to copywriting. Like, in my opinion, where Facebook's going, like kind of the technology is already there. Like on the local level, you could almost use AI for the whole thing. And we're gonna get into this in the upcoming training on targeting, right? Like, I think AI, Facebook's goal is to eventually get rid of the advertising agency because, most of the time, a local business spends $2,000, like they're giving $1,000 to the agency and $1,000 to Facebook, right? Facebook's whole idea is to make it very self-serve. They're not there yet. It's still incredibly confusing. So like the window of opportunity for us to do this is massive. And the good thing is that with using this type of AI, unless you show them the magic trick of what I'm doing here, most local business owners have no idea. So we're going to use a tool called Chat GTP. Again, this was started in November of 2022. If you want to, I kind of recommend it. Like, you could pay $20 a month and have the GTP4 and GTP3 Plus, without waiting. And probably by the time you watch this, because they'll be on GTP 10, right? But what you do is just go to https chat.openai, and you could open up an account. Very simple. I'm not going to show you how to do that. Don't want to bog you down with that. But essentially, you just type and go back and forth. So what you can use AI for, you can use it for research. You could use it for rewriting ads. There's a new niche that I just went into. That we basically went and found winning ads in the Facebook ads library and gave it very clear instructions to keep the same format of the ad and to basically, rewrite it and give us different versions and act as if you're, an expert direct response copywriter. And it did a pretty good job of rewriting ads so that, for someone like myself, that would have taken 3-4 hours before. I mean, I got it done in 10-20 minutes, right? And you could also use it to write ads. So the main thing about Chat GTP and AI is you'll hear it like a prompt. And really what a prompt is, it's a unit of thought. And we use prompts every day. It's like how we question people, how we ask for things. And that's really what you use when you type in. I'll show you some examples in a second. But for a prompt consists of a function, which is giving it a clear, specific instruction or question. A good prompt contains context and key elements, and it will also contain modifiers, like words or phrases that adjust or refine the output. And you'll see how I use them throughout. So before we get into it, the biggest mistakes that I see people making with AI is, number one, placing trust in all the statements. You have to trust but verify. I think a very famous person said that. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Ronald Reagan. But placing trust in all of his statements, that's a mistake. You also want to, if you lack specificity, all around with what your objective is, your target audience when using this, it's not going to give you good output. And this is a good thing because it's not, AI is very helpful, but it's not at the stage right now where a complete beginner who doesn't know the training that I just gave you could go out and create better ads than you. You still have to know how to guide it. You have to know how to speak to it, which I'm going to show you now. But generating excessive amount of content will often lead to a feeling of overwhelm. If you keep spitting out different content, wouldn't recommend that. I would avoid requesting for opinions. It's probably not going to give you an answer, or asking it to make choices. So that's another mistake you can make. Refraining from requesting direct prompts, hey, write me an ad about fixing headaches, right? Like it's going to do a pretty bad job of that. And the big idea is like weak prompts that aren't specific. It's like when I teach copywriting, it's like specific, concrete, and tangible. That's what makes you a great copywriter and a great communicator. And it's the same thing when speaking to AI. Like if you're not specific, if you're like very vague and ambiguous, it's not really going to give you good output. So the best practice is, again, be specific, clear, concise, be non-ambiguous, provide descriptions and examples, right? Ask for a type of information, define your desired outcome clearly, define your audience. The more context, the better. Like you can actually teach it. Like it won't write a really good ad, but you could actually teach it the framework, and I'll show you how I did that. And just talk to it like a human, and one of the things you can do is give it roles, and I'll show you what I did. So here's an example of a bad prompt, which is, I opened it up like, hey, can you write me a Facebook ad? And then it responded like, of course, I'd be happy to help you write a Facebook ad. To create an effective ad, it's important to consider your target, the product or service, the unique selling points that make it appealing. Here's an example of a Facebook ad for a fitness app called FitLife. And it's got this ad, and it's a really bad ad, in my opinion. It's not great. And it says, remember, including captivating visuals. So I said, okay, the product is NeoGraft, going on with the case study. The audience is men over 30 dealing with hair loss and a receding hairline, and the offer is $2 off per graft and $50, $500 off PPR. So this is what it wrote. And from my experience with Facebook ads, this is just not a good ad at all. It's not going to work. It's going to produce very expensive leads. And this is kind of what like ChatGPT did basically with like very weak prompts. And I, like write me a Facebook ad and filling in the details. So the good news is like your competitors that don't know how to use AI, this is the quality that they're going to get. However, if you learn how to give it some good prompts, like I'm going to show you, you get some pretty good outputs. So this is what I did instead. Like, hey, I would like you to write a Facebook ad for me. And then, the AI ChatGPT said, hey, I'd be happy to help you create a Facebook ad. Please provide me with some details about your product or service. Same thing. And then I basically say, hey, there's 7 steps to writing the perfect social media ad. Step 1 is call out your audience. Step 2 is here's what I got. Step 3 is here's what it will do for you. Step 4 is here's what I want you to do next. Call to action restating the offer. Create a headline stating offer and scarcity. Create a link description with a call to action, and use an image. And can you write an ad following these 7 steps? If we go back, that might look familiar. It's the 7 steps of what I taught you guys here that all of these really good ads follow. So I basically taught the AI that. And if you look here, this is what it came out with. Attention men and women with hair loss, right? I don't know why I did women, but that's a fine first statement. Introducing NeoGraft, the revolutionary hair transplant solution. And then it's like, here's what this will do for you. Say goodbye to the hair loss and hello to a full head of hair with NeoGraft. Our advanced hair transplant technology ensures natural looking results without scars or stitches. Restore your confidence and regain a youthful appearance. Claim your free consultation and receive 20% off your NeoGraft procedure. Limited spots available. Act now. And then the headline will be limited time offer. Get 20% off NeoGraft hair trans. Book your free consultation today. And the link is there. So to be honest, that's much better. Like obviously you gotta, you have to know and then look back over the Facebook policies, which you should know cold. I just say like attention men or attention whatever location that you're going into. But if you look at the rest of the ad, it really isn't that bad. And it's kind of enough to, like, I would throw that in my dynamic creative testing. Like I'd throw that in my testing and throw that out as long as I made sure it was compliant. And then again, like, the audience is men over 30 and the offer is $2 off per graft. And you could see it's like attention men over 30 experiencing hair loss. Like that's a little iffy on Facebook, but I like what it's doing. Discover NeoGraft, the ultimate solution for natural hair restoration. Like that's fine. NeoGraft's innovative hair transplant technique guarantees a natural looking, and this is actually not bad. Results that will transform your appearance with $2 off per graft and a complimentary $500 PRP treatment. You can achieve a fuller head of hair and boost your confidence. So just like you can see that's much better output that is following this, and you could use this to then write your own ads. Like it's like, to me, this is pretty much like 90% there to get something out and to get something tested. I said 95%. It might even be 95% there, which is kind of cool. Like once you give it those prompts, and again, you can do this for any niche. Like it's thinking for you, which is really cool. And then limited time offer. Learn more about Neograph. So, and then use an image of a confident, mature man with a full head of hair, showcasing the transformation and increased assurance through Neograph. So remember to adhere to Facebook ads guideline and adjust the elements accordingly to your specific requirements. So as you can see, like this ad right here, giving it more context, giving it more detail, giving it, and like you can even give an example of like a good Neograph ad you could find in the library. Like you could go here and show them like this ad here, right? But that's pretty much like how it works. What I would personally do is that, and also like now that we're in AI, this is pretty cool. Like if you need help with your education-based marketing video, which we covered, you can also have it write an emotional 1,000-word journal entry from the perspective of a man who's struggling to get clients for his Neograph clinic. He feels frustrated and hopeless. Be creative. And as you can see, this output here is really good because like the more specific, it's pretty good for getting inside their head. And this is all elements that you can start to add to your marketing or your cold emails to describe what they're going through. Like, if they can't get leads for it, if they can't figure out how to get patients. So again, just wanted to show you one example of how you can use AI for this. And I think it's only going to get better. So that's all I have for you. And in the next video, what we're going to do is we are going to cover the final steps, which is actually like setting up the campaigns and getting them going. So with that said, I'll see you in the next video.